Good afternoon, everyone. This is T.E. Steger-Smith, and it is now 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. And I just want to talk to you just a little bit about judging. It can cost you much. And I know this from personal experience on all sides of being judged and judging someone else. It has truly, truly cost me much. Okay, and it has cost others much. Let me bring it to you in a couple of examples. I'm not going to be before you long today. I just want to thank those of you who are joining me from all around the world. I've been getting a lot of compliments, and of course I get some criticisms. And thank you for the love, thank you for the like, and make sure you love this message, like this message, wow this message. But I hope that you find true value in this message with those that you share this message with. But back to the conversation at hand. When you judge someone based on anything, make sure you have a sound basis. That's number one. Put this in your notes. As a good colleague and mentor of mine says, put this in your notes. This will be good for you. This will be good for your development. When you judge someone, make sure you have a firm basis. Let me remove my sunshades. I'm now parked and safe to speak to you today. Make sure you understand what you're judging them about. Make sure you understand the whole premise and basis of the situation. You don't understand. Thank you, Auntie. I appreciate you chiming in today. I love you. Miss you. I'll see you soon. Make sure that you understand what you're judging about. The situation may be about something else going on in their specific situation. If it's professional, it may be a piece of regulation, it may be a law, it may be a work practice that may be for the overall situation. It may not be about you. So don't take it so personally, in other words. I had a situation where I sat in a group and we had to make a decision that affected everyone. But however, before we made the situation, there was one individual who came in and passed judgment. And oh, by the way, they were asked for their opinion, but guess what? They never replied. So we went ahead and we made a final decision, and we didn't take their opinion into account because they didn't chime in. In other words, and I'm going to use this slang term, they slept on the decision. So it really wasn't the individual's fault. It wasn't the board's fault that their opinion wasn't taken account. So it cost them much because they did not chime in. So that's one professional instance I have. Another thing, by the way, once that individual didn't take into account that the decision was made for the whole organization or division or body, that person's work performance, their professional performance began to decline, and then they moved on to other activities. And as a matter of fact, they actually moved into another organization. But we see that all the time, don't we? Where people, if they don't get their way, they tend to pout in the corner. You see this in every organization. We make decisions for the many, but the few are affected, and vice versa. In our personal lives, oh my goodness, we tend to judge people because a lot of times they're not like us. I'm guilty of it sometimes. And when we, at first glance, we judge people based on their appearance, based on what they have, based on what they don't have. But that's because we don't take really time to get to know them. Sometimes we base our decisions on people because they're shy. But sometimes some people's personality, they open up after they look around, and they're rather introverted. They want to take time to get to know, like, and trust you. Here I go, back to business again. Sometimes people don't trust other folks because they've been burnt so many times. So, and because it has cost them much in another life. So sometimes they take their time to get to know you. And like me, I'm a type of person, I trust you until you give me a chance not to trust you. And maybe I need to take advice for those who are relatively reserved and sit back and observe a little bit more. And I'm learning that the older I get and the more experience I get. So, and that goes for my business life, my professional life, my social life, and my personal life. And that's also dealing with family and friends. I'm sniffing them out. I'm giving them a once over before I deal in different situations with them. And once again, I thank you for chiming in today. But I noticed something that happened with me earlier this year. I had passed judgment on a specific situation that I was dealing with an individual, and I had been given information on an individual, and I had took that information as gospel, and I'm using that loosely, on a specific situation, and I took it and I ran with it. And this is concerning a distant family member, and I had made my sole judgment on that information. And oh, by the way, the information was correct, and I decided not to delve any further. But hadn't I delved any further, I would have found out that the information, not only was it correct, but it was very old, and it was specific to a time frame. It was a situation that the individual could not come out of. There was no other choice. Okay, there was no other choice, and therefore it cost me a whole lot. It cost me time. It cost me money. It cost me a relationship that I could have built. But the reason why I didn't pursue it was because I was afraid to open that door to a potential business relationship, a potential family relationship that I could have built more of. But that's because I did not want to build it because I was afraid. But all in all, recently, I walked up to the individual. I explained to that individual why I did not want to pursue any other business dealings, why I did not go further. And the individual came back to me and further disclosed more information and explained to me why, X, Y, and Z, and A, B, and C. And then what happened was I told the individual, oh, that can be fixed. And now we have a friendship, a business relationship. We repaired some things with some other individuals. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We were able to begin to work together and to be able to begin a friendship. So lesson learned on my end. I stopped judging. I'm in the middle and in the process of my growth process is don't judge because it can cost you much. I challenge you all who are watching me today. I challenge you all in your businesses, in your professional life, whether it be another career coach like myself, whatever you do, whether you're in trucking, whether you're in financial management, because I see some of my colleagues here who are in similar businesses like myself. You don't know what people have gone through. You don't know what people need. So don't judge it because it can truly cost you much. Now, I know many people aren't as bold as I am and go up to people and able to talk and make conversation. But see, me, I was able to repair a potential friendship that they didn't even know could exist. But I went up and disclosed preconceived judgment and notions on something that I was told by a third party. I allowed some things in my ear gate based on what someone else said. Now, I'm a middle-aged woman and I'm still allowing some things in my ear. I'm an upper-level professional, but I allowed some things based on some old information. Now, be it was correct, But I had to get the rest of the story. And there was some judgment there. There was some judgment there. And I had passed it based on some other information. But I allowed myself to go back to that individual and find out the rest of the story. And it cost me much in the beginning. But now I'm reaping big dividends because I allowed myself to go and now grow with this person. With that, I'm going to sound off. I'm going to sound off and sign off. Anyway, so I thank you all for joining. Thank you, Mr. LaCapra. I see your note here. Continue to love this message, like this message, wow this message, and we'll see you on the other side. My name is T.E. Steger-Smith. I am better known as Dr. Trey, and we'll see you on the other side. Continue to be blessed. Bye-bye now.